Hey sweethearts, it's Nick Venus once again tapping in. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the time I was almost kidnapped. Yes, girl, I was almost fucking kidnapped. So in the previous story time, I talked about the bar that I would go to that catered to trans women. And it was a bar that was a mix of cis men, cis women, trans girls, cross-dressers, chasers, you know, a blend of everybody. It was all within a 3-week time frame. So the first week when I left the bar, there was this creepy ass guy. So mind you, I used to park in the back streets. I used to park in the cut because when I used to park in the front, you know, there would be like men started stalking me and shit. Like men would be waiting by my car. Like they started knowing exactly what car I drove and shit. So it just started getting so crazy. So I started parking like far away, and I would walk, you know, a couple blocks, and I would park in the back streets, you know, just so I won't be having these guys stalk me all the fucking time. So the first Saturday, as I was going to my car, there was some creepy ass guy waiting on the side of my car, and he started asking me all these weird ass questions, you know. He's like, ask me questions like, do you park here all the time? You know, where are you coming from? You know, oh, you know, is this your car? Like, just weird ass fucking questions, you know? And then when somebody gives me like a creepy ass vibe or whatever, I always say, like, oh, I have a boyfriend, you know, just so they can leave me alone, you know? He was also saying like, oh, you know, you look so good, you're so sexy, whatever. So he was just giving me creepy ass vibes and asking me weird ass questions. So I just said, oh, I have a boyfriend, because you know, before when I would just tell guys, oh, I'm not interested, they would get mad. You know, they would get mad at me, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I started telling them, hey, I have a boyfriend, so then they'll just leave me alone, you know. So, you know, and then he kind of just backed off. I got in my car, drove off, you know.
1 week later.
And then the next weekend, Saturday, me and my homegirls went out, you know, because like I said, we would go there pretty consistently. Pretty much every Saturday we would go. So this week, I was going to the bar. So you have to walk down the street, and it's across the street. That's where the bar is. So you walk down a hill, and then you go across the street. So as I was walking down the hill, I noticed a undercover cop car across the street, you know? And it was two guys. Like I could see the reflection. Like I don't know if they had a cell phone, but you know, you have the light reflecting their face. So I could see it was two men, and they both were just staring at me like this. And I was like, why are they staring at me, you know? And then one got on a walkie-talkie and said, oh, she's coming down the hill right now. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know, like, me? Like, I ain't did shit. You know, like, I literally would go to the club. I would go there and just hang out with my homegirls, or go to the bar, hang out with my homegirls, drink. You know, that's all I would do. I wouldn't be doing no illegal shit or nothing. So when they're like, oh, she's coming down the hill, you know, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I just paid it though, you know? But when I got to the bar, I told my homegirl, I was like, there was some guy, like, cop car, like, undercover cop car, and two guys, and they're like, oh, she's coming down the hill right now. And then my homegirl's like, oh, don't even pay that no mind, you know, they probably think you're somebody else. So, you know, we just started drinking. I completely forgot about it, you know, it was cool. And the night ended, you know, and then
2 weeks later.
this is the next week, so 3 weeks. This is like the time frame of the things that I noticed. So now this week, you know, I'm saying bye to my homegirls and everything, you know, the bar's closing. You know, I'm still parking. Now, I wouldn't park in the exact same spot. You know, like I would move around, so, you know, not in the same spot, but it was still in the back streets. So as I'm going, you know, when I get to my car, there's a guy standing right next to my car door, my driver door, and he has a big ass white van parked, like it's just our cars, and we're in the back streets, a big ass van. And then he starts asking me, you know, oh, you look so sexy, and he starts asking me creepy questions like the other guy, like 3 weeks ago, or yeah, like the other guy. He started asking me creepy questions like him. Oh, is this your car? Do you normally park here a lot? Oh, you know, you're so sexy. Where are you going? You know, like asking me creepy shit, but this dude had a phone in his hand, and he kept pacing. Like, he would pace, he would walk down, like, where the hood of his van is, and he'd walk back and forth, and then he'd walk back and then block my car door. He kept doing that, and I was like, why the fuck is he doing that? This is weird. And then I overheard him. He would get on the phone, and he's asking somebody on the phone, and he's like, what do you want me to say to her? And I'm like, what the fuck? And then he would say something like, oh yeah, you're looking really good. Like, he had like a like like an accent, you're looking really good, you know? And I'm like, what the fuck? And then he kept getting back on that phone and pacing, and then whoever he was on, he would ask also, what do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to say? And girl, I tell you, red flag, my spidey sense kicked in, girl. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Something ain't right. And then I started thinking about the creepy guy other week. Then I started thinking about the undercover cop cars. And I started thinking like, girl, something ain't fucking right. Let me get the fuck up out of here. So I kid you not, girl, it was like, I felt like it happened in like 5 seconds. Like, it felt like a motherfucking movie. So my ass quickly, right when he started pacing and he walked in front of his van, my ass unlocked my door, jumped in, started the motherfucker, put it in reverse, like, it felt like I did it in like 5 seconds, and backed up. And as I was backing up, he started running towards my motherfucking car. He started running and screaming like, hey, get back here, like screaming like, hey, get back here, like fucking yelling and screaming. I was like, oh shit. So I put it in drive and I just floored it. And then there was a light right there. I just ran the motherfucking light and turned and then just was hauling ass. And at the time I had I had a V8 Camaro at the time, so I was smashing. And then I hit the freeway and I was just dipping and just going home and shit. And I was making sure, I kept checking the rear view, making sure nobody's following me. And then when I got home and I told my homegirl, yeah, there was this weird ass guy that started chasing me. He had a white van and shit. And girl, come to find out, I found out a little later on that these guys were sex traffickers. So the whole time, the 3 weeks was they're all the same guys, and they were trying to throw me in the damn van and do sexual shit, you know, like I don't know what they do, like with the sex traffic, but I found out that's what the fuck they were, and that's why he had that big ass van. So I found out that they put people in that damn van, and I'm like, oh my goodness, girl, fucking crazy. So after that, I stopped going to that motherfucking bar. Never went again, ever again. And my homegirls, they were still going a couple weeks after. I kept telling them, girl, like, y'all need to stop going to that motherfucker because these guys are targeting trans women. They're targeting us. So eventually I got them to stop going there. You know, and we would go to a different club. Well, the other one was a bar, but this one was a club. We used to go to a different club that was like, it wasn't that far away from that, but it wasn't so close that they could follow us, you know, and know where we're at. What I will say is, girls, it don't matter, like, if you're a biological woman, trans women, you need to be careful, you know, don't do that shit. Don't walk to your car by yourself like I was doing, you know. Make sure y'all go in the same car, and if you do have to walk to your car, you know, make sure you park close or walk with somebody. Don't do that shit. So that will conclude this video. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for future content. And till next time, guys. Peace.